Hello, welcome to this week's 5-minute rhythm and rhyme. Today we're going to learn some signs and body percussion to a song called Nigel Had a Long Neck by Nick Cope. Now this song is about a giraffe called Nigel, and the reason why we're doing it is because this week actually has National Giraffe Day in it, so that's why. Let's start with the signs. So first of all, we're going to sign giraffe. The word giraffe doesn't actually come up in the song, but because it's about a giraffe, I feel like we should do it. So we've got, going to make a C shape with our hand, and then we're going to motion on near our neck, because they have a long neck, and then we're going to put our thumb and our third and fourth fingers together, and then our other ones are going to be pointing up. So we have giraffe, giraffe, and we're also going to sign that for Nigel, because that's the giraffe's name, Nigel. And actually, just this sign on its own is animals. So when we have the sign for animals, we will also do that. So Nigel, animals. Okay, let's move on to true. 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 Then we have C. C, C. Then the next up is a sign you might not have done before. We're going to have our arm out in front of us, and then we're going to make a shape in the other hand, and we're going to start at our wrist, and we're going to draw little circles like this, little swirls on our arm, and that's the sign for miles. Miles, miles, miles. Then we have smile, smile, smile. And then the last sign we've got is sit, sit, sit. Brilliant. We're going to move on to the body percussion now. Going to keep another steady beat with a lap and then a clap. It's quite a slow piece, this one, and it's going to tell a really lovely story along the way. See if you can join in with me. Brilliant. Let's try the whole thing with the music.
Nigel had a long neck, that was true. The longest neck in the old town zoo. And all that Nigel wanted was to see the view from atop of Primrose Hill, like the people do. And after day he asked his keeper if he could go up that hill and take a peek. But night after night the keeper told him no. So one evening when the keeper was asleep, Nigel used his long neck to make his escape. He pushed open the door and crept over the gate. All the cats from Camden Town gave him a cheer as he tiptoed through the moonlight, twitching his ears. It didn't take long before he reached the hilltop. The city below was hidden by the night. So he sat down on the ground to wait for the sun to rise. And when it did, he couldn't believe his eyes. And Nigel said, I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles, and it's making me smile. Yeah, I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. I'm gonna sit here for a while. Nigel couldn't wait to get back home to the zoo, to tell all his friends about the wonderful view. The penguins and the pangolins and kangaroos said, if you help us escape, we'll come along with you. And night after night more animals went to that hilltop to watch the city below them come to life. They waited at the top of Primrose Hill for the sun to rise, and when it did, they couldn't believe their eyes. And all the animals said, we can see for miles and miles and miles and miles, and it's making us smile. Yeah, we can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. We're gonna sit here for a while, 'cause we can see for miles and miles, miles and miles, miles and miles and miles and miles. Nigel had a long neck, that was true, the longest neck in the old town zoo.
Super job, everyone. There's some activities on the next screen for you to have a go at. Bye for now.
Nigel had a long neck, that was true, the longest neck in the old town zoo. And all that Nigel wanted was to see the view from the top of Primrose Hill, like the people do. And after day he asked his keeper if he could go up that hill and take a peek. But night after night after night the keeper